Welcome, my constant reader friends. I'm Tad, and this is Tad Reads Books and Stuff. All right, so we're into the third week of the 2024 Spooky Scary Skeleton Halloween Readathon, hosted by Nicole at Nicole's Bookish Nook. Please check out her channel and all the other co-captains for this Readathon Spooky Season Challenge. Yeah, I'm on book 3, third week, and I finished The Return by Bentley Little. All right, so this book satisfies, prompt number 7. Read a thriller by an author you don't know. And I'll tell you, I've heard of Bentley Little because I own 2 books of his. They were given to me. I've told this story probably a couple times before, but I have 5 sisters, and one of them always gives me something that's as cheap as possible to give me as a gift, but something that I like. And she oftentimes goes to Walmart or any of these other big block stores, and they'll have a big bin of things for sale. And she, for Christmas, got me this, The Return, and Dispatch by Bentley Little. So she gifted these to me for Christmas, and I had never heard of him. There is a blurb on the front by Stephen King, and it says that he's a Bram Stoker award-winning master of the macabre. And I have difficulty getting rid of books, so I didn't just get rid of them. I didn't know who he was. I knew nothing about him. I put them on my bookshelves, and I've carried them around with me for years. This book was originally published in September of 2002. My copy has 354 pages, and on Goodreads it's a 3.46. So when I saw the prompt, I said, hey, this will give me a reason to read one of those old books that my sister gave me that I never really had any intentions of reading. So I I don't know anything about this author. I've never read any of his other books, even though I own 2 of them. So that's where we stand with this. Let me just tell you right off the bat, I gave this book a whole 2 stars on Goodreads. Yeah, not a 1, but not even that strong of a 2 for me, unfortunately. So what's this book about? Well, it's an archaeological, ancient evil horror story. Starts out, it takes place in Arizona mostly, but mostly in the Midwest area out there. It starts out with like a campfire ghost story, ancient evil story to scare these campers, and it does, but then it takes off from there because the story involves a guy having his face removed and hung on a tree by this shack, which of course all the campers can see this old shack. And in the morning, what happens? The campers wake up, and the camp counselor who told the story is dead, and his face has been peeled off his face and stuck on the tree by the old shack. So that's how it starts off. Well, it actually starts off with a preface with actually Zane Grey as one of the characters, which was kind of interesting, I guess. So it starts off with a bang, and it starts off pretty darn good, I'll have to say. Great start. The guy knows how to write. The guy knows how to write, and he puts sentence structures together well. His visuals, you can see everything. He describes locations well, and what's going on is fine. His writing, nothing bad about his writing, easy to read, except he seems to have a premise. And I've actually read this now after reading this book. I did some more research on him. It seems that a lot of people talk about how his stories start off really good and then kind of drop off. And that definitely is what happened with this story. The beginning was great, but by the middle, he was losing. I mean, I was totally bored. And by the end, he not only totally lost grip on the story, he totally lost my interest in the book. Yeah, not a great. Again, I gave it 2. I mean, again, there's nothing wrong with the writing. It wasn't just these glaring mistakes. It's just that the story, I don't know. So he tries so hard to make this scary. There is a lot of graphic violence for no reason. I guess just to scare the reader. There's a lot of graphic sex for no reason. None of these things really advance the story or push you deeper into, you know, the psyche of the main characters, the protagonist or the antagonist or any, but you have no vested interest. I didn't anyways in any of these characters. And here's another thing. Just have you heard of the red shirt syndrome? Yeah, it's, you know, from Star Trek, right? You send the red, you know, the red shirt guys, when he goes out on the planet with the landing party, he's gonna die. Well, there's a lot of that in this book. Whole chapters, half chapters of introducing a new character that is eventually going to die a gruesome death for no reason other than to have a character die a gruesome death and him to explain it and show it to you. It doesn't push the story forward at all. The character never shows up again, never showed up before. I mean, there's 15 chapters in here. He did it once in like the 13th chapter. Introduces this guy for no reason. He goes spelunking and dies a gruesome death from the cave, you know, from the cave crumbling down and killing him. Half a chapter dedicated to this for no reason. Filler, maybe? I guess. Word count? I guess. I don't see any. It happened very often. Let me talk, like, for instance, I'm not suggesting anybody read this book for any reason. It's not going to enrich your life at all. But if you do, apparently he's written several books, and a couple actually are good because he won a Bram Stoker Award winner. And if you say, well, I like some of Bentley Little stuff, I'm going to read it, but there's just, I mean, there's a scene where they barbecue a baby, a child. No reason, I guess, just to gross you out or make it seem scary. There's, like I said, gratuitous sexual things that have no meaning. There's a scene where they skin a Dalmatian. I don't know. There's, it just, the whole area devolves, but the area, there's things happening in museums, Native American museums, all over the West. Not just in this small area of Arizona, all over. Things coming to life in museums. Towns, whole towns, starting wars and just killing each other by the hundreds. People, marauders going and just slaughtering people. And no authorities. I mean, almost no reaction from authorities. You would think that if things started coming alive all over museums all over the West, I mean, he mentions that CNN talks about it, but that's it. They don't send out the National Guard. I mean, I don't know. I just, it totally lost me. Not very interesting. And I have 2 books. I have The Dispatch, and I have no interest in reading this book. I'm not going to read this book. So this is going to go on my shelf. I read it. Part of Spooky Scary Skeleton Halloween Readathon. It satisfied prompt number 7. I'm happy about that. And I only have one more book left for the season, And that's going to be The Other here by Thomas Tryon. I can't wait to read that. I love Thomas Tryon, and hopefully this is going to save me. Of course, the Halloween Tree was great too. But that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please do the stuff. Like, subscribe, leave me comments. And as always, until next time, peace out.